All right. We're recording.
Yeah. I see
Yeah.
it. It says live.
Yeah, we are live. We are live. We're gonna have to at some point do a live podcast,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
Well, it's a thing.
let people be a part of it somehow.
In the coming new year,
Yeah.
2021.
So many new things.
Everything's on hold 2020.
Everything, yeah. Yeah, we get to redo. We get to redo 2020. We just get to add a 1 to the end so that it doesn't feel so lame.
Yeah.
And we
Agreed.
just move on from there. It's just one more. Just
Cool.
one better.
So hey everybody. I'm Mike from Something Heavy. He's Jimmy G
That's me.
from Craving Strange.
I'm craving
And
strange.
we are Bacon is My Passion. And you're
This
watching or listening
is
or both to
possibly bacon is my podcast.
yeah. It's like a real thing.
Yeah, it's a life podcast.
Did you see what I got?
The pod decks. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
You know what I got before we get too far in there. I got myself. Now this thermos does not contain any beverages, but what it does contain ice balls.
ooh. Did you bring another mystery flask?
I did not bring a mystery flask.
People still talk about the mystery flask episode and they enjoy it.
I have two little airline. I have a Jameson cold brew and a regular Jameson.
Oh.
I'm gonna start with the regular Jameson. I've only got two today. We're taking it easy today. Now, fun fact: this little airline cold brew Jameson that I have in my hand, not a sponsor, could be. Oh man, I sponsor them.
Please.
Um, there for all your ASM people.
That sounded really good. You should try we should isolate that. Keep it as a sound bite.
Yeah, right. Well, I received that the cold brew in a special little Halloween gift bag from a student at School of Rock because their parent knows me very well somehow. But their parent was like there was like a couple mini Snickers in there, a couple fun size Milky Ways, and a tiny Jameson cold brew that the student brought into the school and
That's
handed me.
pretty
And I was like,
incredible.
this is amazing.
This is yeah, that's how you shape tomorrow's future.
That is. And
By feeding their
I'm
teachers
eternally grateful.
booze. I also got the interview deck, by the way. So
That's cool. I was looking at that and I found an app. They actually have an app as well,
right.
right?
Which
Because when you told me you got it, I was like, oh, let me check out that app too. Because I'd heard of pod decks, but I wasn't sure what they were. And once I read it, I was like, oh, this is probably a good thing because we have been. Oh, look at that!
yeah, it's like official. We are
Professionals.
professionals.
Mike is holding up a podcaster sticker. Is that a sticker?
It is a sticker. It's
Nice.
going right on the door.
We are podcasters.
Yes. I'll
Yeah.
have to add an S at the end, but
That's all right. We are podcaster.
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Like I am the tag team champions.
I am the tag team champions.
No, I am the tag team champion.
I am the tag team champions.
God damn it. Do you want to do one of these?
Yeah, I think we should because
Should we just do, like-
one thing we've been accused of is not having a direction and kind of
Well, here's a direction. I'm
going
gonna.
all over the place.
Did you hear that? That was shuffling.
Let me hear that again.
Wait, hold on. Let me get the mic in place.
Yeah.
Talk about Vegas all the time.
Oh, look at that. I can hear that that was a nice shuffle.
See, you see how that is?
Look at you.
It's like every
Look
I'm
at
pretty
you.
good at shuffling. Very good at shuffling, actually. Okay, so here we go. Um, so Jim, if you were to pick, where in the deck would you pick?
All right. So I'm looking at a giant stack of cards. I am going to pick right in the center
That one?
to your right.
This one?
Stop.
This
Yes.
one. Okay. Okay. This is a good one.
All right.
So share your morning/nightly routine.
Oh man. Would you like to go first, or you want me to go first?
You know what? You go first.
All right. Yeah, my morning routine is going to be a lot less eventful than yours, I assume.
Mm,
So my alarm goes off around 9:30,
mhm.
and I turn that alarm off. I hit snooze, and when I hit snooze, my dog Bruce Wayne comes to the bedroom door area and starts whimpering. And at that point, Annie will get up and she will take him outside and she will go kickboxing. So I will go back to sleep until probably 10. I'll get up at 10. I do some stretching before I get out of bed. Some yoga. I will do a full yoga. I try to do it like 3 times a week. It's more likely to be two, sometimes one. At that point, I will go upstairs, brush my teeth, come downstairs, take my vitamins. I do take some vitamins. Then I will sit down in front of my laptop and I will start with sometimes it's emails. I'll check my emails, or if I went to bed with like a video edit that I was in the middle of, or a photo edit that I was in the middle of, or something like that, I'll jump back on that. Usually, I'll throw on YouTube and I'll watch a couple of shows like Good Mythical Morning, or I'll put on some Maddie Matheson or Binging with Babish, and I will work on band stuff until probably for an hour or two until it's time to start getting ready to go to work.
That's a solid morning.
Yeah, that's my morning.
So my morning starts before my first alarm goes off. I'm an early riser. My 5-day a week job sucks, and I have to be there at 7 a.m. But luckily,
Ooh.
I have 2 human alarm clocks that make sure that I'm always on time every time. So sometime before my first alarm at 6 o'clock goes off, I generally have a stomping, boom, 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 and then a door slam, whop. Sometimes to change it up a little bit, we'll get the door slam, but it's my door. And then one of the children will jump into bed and promptly crush my lower legs and feet. And then they'll go, Daddy, can I watch TV?
I appreciate the whisper after the jump onto the legs.
Yeah, social cues aren't their thing yet. So it's,
Subtle.
Daddy, can I watch TV? And they have a rule 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., you can watch TV. And my daughter, we even have, so for her, there's an alarm clock and it's a dog holding a ball, right? And it's holding a red ball until 7 a.m.
Mm.
When the ball turns green, you can
Oh,
come out of your room.
stop and go. I like it.
Guess what? Nobody cares about that fucking dog or what he says or what the ball says.
Right.
So yeah, so that's my first thing. Then 6 a.m. my first alarm goes off. and I'll either scroll through my phone to go through emails through one bloodshot eye, or I will pretend that I'm going back to sleep for another little while when my alarm goes off at 6:20. At which point it's get the F out of bed. You need to get in the shower. It's time to go. So yeah, I just jump in the shower, take a quick shower, get dressed real quick. I could go through like my morning beard stuff and whatever, but that'd be too frank of me. And that's not what we do here.
Thank Frank
I
for
love,
beards.
I love you, Frank. Thank Frank. It's Friday.
Coming soon.
We're in coming soon. Episode 3 coming
When-
eventually.
Whenever you hear this, it's coming soon.
Yeah. Always coming soon. So then I get my stuff ready to go to work. And while I take a shower, I tend to listen to a podcast. Again, the usual suspects that we usually talk about. Depends on what my morning strikes me, but generally a good like wrestling podcast is good for me because I don't not so much the like the random interview kind of thing. I always like to get like the retrospective kind of stuff where they look back, like the wrestling figure that I'm listening to in particular. They go back and they book stuff in hindsight 2020, and they tell the story of leading into it and what's happening at the time, and that's I love that stuff. So I'll listen to that, and then I'll pause it when I'm getting dressed because Jen will have the covers over her head because I hate you. You're going to work too early. The kids are awake now, and I am their only source of anything now.
I am now their entertainment.
Right. I am their entertainment. I am the way they get sustenance. I hate you. Stop leaving so early.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So then I'll hop in the car, drive up the Wantagh Parkway, one exit, and get to work. When I get to work, that's the fun part. I usually have a coffee that's about the size of my forearm. It's a big coffee in a metal vat. And
now, for those of you that are listening, the size of your forearm, like if you were to measure your elbow to your wrist, that is the size of your foot, right? So, Mike's,
wow.
yeah, you didn't know that?
Hold on. For the video.
Yeah.
Just theory. This hurts. I need the yoga that you do. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's pretty remarkable.
Crazy, right?
I
It's
didn't
because
know
our bodies have symmetry.
Wow.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
And you know what? Someone somewhere that's listening at home right now is doing exactly what you did, and putting their foot up to their arm, and we're all learning something today. But yeah, so it's about a foot-sized coffee. Now, is that the first coffee you have of the day? Is when you get to work?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Me too. I don't do the coffee right away in the morning. I know a lot of people that do, but I do not.
See, I can't do it because I'm in such a mad dash. I have to be at work at 7, and I only get in the shower between like 6:20 and 6:30.
Right.
So it doesn't leave a whole lot of time to pour a cup of coffee, make sure it's at a temperature that doesn't burn my face off.
Right.
And call it. Yeah. So I'll start that. I'll start scanning paperwork from the day before because that's always awesome.
Sounds fun.
It's not, especially if it's stapled, and the people at my job like to staple things 87 times for 2 pieces of paper. And in order to put it through the scanner, it can not have that.
Right.
So that's pretty remarkable. So that's my morning. I scan shit and I drink my giant vat of coffee. And Jen will always ask me between like 10 and 11. If my coffee's gone by so it's weird. So if my coffee's gone by 10, it means that I'm having a rough day. If my coffee's gone or not gone by like 12, that also means that I have a rough day. So that 11 o'clock, between 11 and 12, is that sweet spot for when I finish that coffee,
Right, right.
because it's got to be 4 to 6 cups in the one giant thing. So yeah, that's my morning.
That's a morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know my mornings do not sound difficult at all, and it's because they are not. Um I was never able to do the really early job. Like I couldn't do it. I have enormous issues getting to sleep. I
yeah,
always kind of have. So it was like I better find a job that lets me work in the evenings or at night. So if I can get something to where I don't have to go to work until, even when I was like working at restaurants and stuff like that, it was like, yeah, I had to be there at 10, but that's nothing, you
yeah,
know? Like it was
yeah,
it was tough for me because I'm finally getting to sleep at 4, 5, stuff like that. But and in the old days it was like a very drunken sleep too. So like 10 in the morning was rough. But yeah, it's really not bad anymore. I'm like
yeah,
I mean, I don't make a lot of money. So, you would think someone with a schedule where they can get up later, like, makes good money, but I do not. I do not. I just, I'm not greedy for money, I'm greedy for time.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Time would be
that's
great
that's my
if I
big thing is, like, I gotta have time to do the stuff for the band or emails or music things in the morning just because 'cause I'm never gonna I can't do it any other time, my
Yeah,
jobs are in the evening, so I can't make calls then,
yeah,
I can't, so it's
yeah.
like I gotta have everything out then.
I've been working early for a long, long time. Actually, when as long as soon as I graduated high school, um, I've been early at work. Uh 7:30, 7:30. Before this was like retail.
Mhm.
So it
Yeah,
could
I did retail
it could
also, I
be
remember that.
like 7:30, or you could go in the late shift and it'd be, 1 to 9 or
And
whatever
then
it is.
and that just sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. It's a
But that's
shitty way
that's my
to
life now because it's like, I go to the school and I teach, and then I either go straight to rehearsal or I go to the bar
yeah,
and work. So,
yeah.
I I've
It
had I've had multiple jobs for a very long time at this point.
yeah,
Like I haven't had like one job that was like a 40-hour work week in a very long time. I've had multiple jobs that add up to that or more, but it
yeah,
doesn't feel like it because I'm switching around a lot.
right.
Um, so between like private lessons, which I can kind of schedule when I want to schedule them, so I don't have
Yeah,
to schedule those super early, and then working at the school and then working at the bar and getting to do like the gigs with you, like the AV gigs with you. It's those are my earliest mornings now is when I do those with you. And
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, the last one you had to even because it starts so for a little backstory, and we've alluded to this a little bit, but so we do some AV gigs, and generally it requires travel,
yeah,
and uh
lately not so much.
yeah, lately not
It
so much.
requires me to travel to your place.
Right. So we come and do it here at the
Yep.
studio, and but it starts mega early. So but as opposed to traveling in on Friday and then having the conferences on Saturday and
Right.
then flying home Sunday, it's now prep for the conference Friday
Right.
here, and then we'll see how long it goes, and then we'll try and get a podcast in before we have to go to bed and then come out to the studio by 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Now I will say, the last what was a couple weeks, maybe the last one we did
Yeah.
was no, the last one we did was in what, September?
No,
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 we
no.
did November,
November.
but the September one, that one was the first time that I crashed at your place, that we did the podcast. I crashed at your place, and then we got up early. And I remember that just because, that was another night that I had a hard time getting to sleep, and I was up, and it was just, I was watching stuff on my phone and just trying to pass out. And and you had warned me. You said, "Hey, it gets rowdy here around 6 a.m." And I remember I woke up to what I could only like. I told Annie, I was like, "I think they're bowling. I think
That's a 4-year-old girl.
I think
That's
they're
that's
bowling
a 4-year-old
upstairs,
girl.
like, right above me. I think they're bowling." I
I'm
was
telling you,
amazed
man.
because she is so tiny. She is so tiny, but
Yeah.
she has a heavy footfall.
Oh, yes.
She
Oh, yes. Yeah, you see the bags under my eyes? I know.
hilarious, man.
I know. Yeah. It's, yeah, it's a challenge. It's interesting. It's fun, but, for sure. The, see, I've always had that one main job
Mhm.
because my focus is always on trying to make this a job, the music a job, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So all those jobs tend to help facilitate that. And then so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now, luckily. But now I've got a job that, and for a lot of years this industry that I'm in is like 50, 45, 50 hours a week.
right,
And I left it for a while, because for a few months, because I didn't want it. And I kind of like tiptoed back in, and I was
right.
back there at like 30 hours and doing trying to do the multiple job thing, and it sucked me back in, man. It sucked me back in.
Yeah, it's
It's
rough because it's almost like you're pretty much a gig worker because, you've got like, I've got the school, which is my one steady.
Yeah,
But then the bar is off and on because it's not a steady paycheck. It depends on how the night goes. And then, private lessons, man, I've had days where I've had, 3, 4 private lessons lined up for a day, and, like, everyone canceled except for the 6 o'clock one.
and there goes your day.
And it's like, there goes your day, but then, there goes also, if every lesson's a certain amount of money and you're counting on that money, all of a sudden you're like, "Okay, I'm not making anything today, so what do I not do this week? What do I not, how do I play that?" So I've been kinda doing that for such a long time, but it was always kinda because, like you, it was always about making my passion into my career.
Right.
Um, and for the longest time, that's been, it was music and touring and stuff. So I needed to be able to tour. So there was no job I could get that was going to allot me that. My band would go on tour for 2, 3 weeks, and then we'd come back for a few months, and then we'd go back on tour again. And that was like, welcome to being a bartender or a waiter, because those are the only things you can come back to.
Come back to him. Yeah,
And luckily, the owner of the bar that I work at, KJ Farrell's in Belmore, New York,
it
not a
is.
sponsor, is super awesome and has always just been like, "Hey, no matter what, you got a job. You can always come back. You can always go. It's totally cool." And then my boss at School of Rock, also Rockville Center, not a sponsor. She's also been super cool about that because it's like, she's like, "Hey, that actually helps people want to take lessons from you because you're a touring artist and stuff."
You've got some legitimacy.
But getting into this time where we're not able to really tour anymore, it's like, and a lot of those gig jobs just aren't doing anything because they rely on people being able to go out. Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, "Oh man, just one 40-hour a week job, 50-hour a week job. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Maybe it's not a bad deal."
Yeah, I mean, I
But I'll probably like DoorDash or something before I do that. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I get too bored, I think. I can't.
Yeah. Kids make you on
I'm a
board.
hard worker, but I just,
Yeah, kids make you on board. So,
that's true. I can
uh,
imagine. I
yeah.
got a dog. I'm good. I love my life.
Yeah, yeah. I, actually, so by the next, um, virtual conference,
Right.
no, maybe not the next one, but the one after that,
Okay.
I'll have, a nice permanent futon in the basement
Oh,
because besides my full-time job and then my many various musical endeavors and then this, I also build shit around the house because I'm deathly afraid of contractors, and I just
well, you're
feel
pretty
that
handy. You're pretty handy
I
too.
I just feel like I have no other choice but to do it myself because otherwise life sucks for however long it takes them to do the job.
Right.
So I'd rather it be okay. Well, if I'd rather me inconvenience me on my time than somebody else inconvenience me and then also inconvenience me more on their time. So that's so yeah, the room downstairs is almost done. You'll have your own little oasis with a
All
nice
right.
little futon. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Nice.
ordered it
I would
today.
I always like to have a couple of places.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll have a nice little smart TV and everything.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
It's a $400 futon.
Wow.
It's
That's
not
all
one of
I
those ones. Yeah, it's not one of those like the frame ones. This is like a couch one that you
uh,
pull out and it's a permanent thing.
I used to I used to sell and deliver futons as a
Ooh,
job when I lived in Indiana. Yeah, I worked at a place called the Futon Source, and I used to deliver futons to a lot of third floor walk-ups in Purdue University. So a lot of the frats and sororities, I would be carrying boxes and then assembling futons.
that's awful.
Yeah, yeah, it was tough. It was
So something that we you can relate to and I can relate to. When I did the Revel 9 uh Thanksgiving Eve video when I videoed it,
mhm.
uh they're on a second floor. And that's where their rehearse is on a second floor. Now I was on a second floor, which sucked, but there was at least a decent amount of space
Yeah.
up the stairs. Yeah, there was a turn, but oh man, they're it's like that wide all the way up the stairs. Have you ever been there before?
I haven't been there. I saw but the
DJ.
video though, was that their studio? Because it didn't look
No,
like their studio.
no,
Okay,
no, no. That was they had a like a an hourly rehearsal room that
gotcha.
they have
Okay.
at the place, and it has a little bit more
A little more space.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked more roomy than their video that they did before that, the previous one that
Yes.
they pulled.
Yeah. Well, I was there trying to help them figure out, okay, well, how can we have a permanent situation in there? And I think they'll be all right. I think they'll start doing it with a little push. We can get them to do it.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So, one thing we were just kinda talking about is, careers and trying to make this, a career of some sorts,
Oh, this is a good one.
and, it's good a time as any to announce that, your friendly neighborhood, members of Bacon is My Passion and Bacon is
Yes.
My Podcast are going to be setting up a, subscription service, a membership service. We're going to be, making you all our, the middles and sides of our BLTs. We're going to be creating, a
Oh
space.
man, the different tiers
Yeah,
can be like lettuce,
yeah.
lettuce tomato, and then bacon lettuce tomato.
I like it. I like it.
No, this is you.
We can do the 6 degrees of bacon.
And then there's also the mayo tier, which
The
just
mayo
sounds
tier.
dirty.
It does sound dirty. I like it.
Yeah, I knew
But
you
yeah,
would.
we'll be announcing stuff in the upcoming months. We're going to be setting this up to be pretty early 2001. We're going to kind of hit the ground running on that. But lots of
We're gonna go in the flux capacitor,
yeah,
and it's gonna be 2001, and we'll set it up, and we'll be the founders of Patreon,
yes,
and then we
indeed.
could travel back to 2021
Yeah,
and actually have this.
that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, yeah. I saw it. It was low hanging fruit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right. Sometimes I hang it
I know
low.
you do the same for me.
I would absolutely.
Probably do worse.
Maybe that was you're getting good.
Learning from the best.
All right, so I'm gonna fill my second cup here.
Okay. So yeah,
And
the
I gotta say
Patreon.
the ice ball is lasting, man. It is
Yeah,
still the
ice
size.
balls
It went
are.
from the size of a like an undersized wiffle ball
Mhm.
to now the size of a slightly undersized golf ball.
Hmm. Then that's pretty
And I even
solid
have
to be
one
able to
more. So
drink that. Yeah, that's good stuff.
yeah, it's just sitting in whiskey. So
Mhm.
get the other one
So
out.
yeah, on that Patreon, something that we discussed, you're gonna put another one in.
I am. Well, I
You know,
brought it, so I gotta
you know
use
what
it.
you should do?
What?
Put it in your mouth, spit it in the air, and try and catch it. Yeah, it's good.
It is
See,
good.
this is why
Spilled a
we do the
little
video
whiskey on my
portion.
sleeve, so that sucks. But
This is why we have the video portion, because anything can happen here on Bacon is My Podcast.
anything can
Anything,
and will.
exactly.
But
But
yeah, so
yeah,
everybody stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. We're going to be announcing a lot of cool stuff. So
some fun
new
swag,
music.
new
If you
music.
enjoyed the
Oh,
music of Death Be a Woman or Everything You Say, if you've enjoyed those, then you'll be getting a lot more. You'll be getting a
yeah.
lot more. And if you don't know what those are,
Go to Spotify.
what? Go to Spotify. Bacon is
Go
my
to
passion.
Apple Music.
Apple Music. Follow us.
Give us a
If you're listening to this on Apple Music, first off, give us that 5-star review. Because
right.
even if you don't like us, just give us a 5-star review because it means more people will see us and hear us. And it's super helpful. And it's like literally the least you could do. It's like super easy. So
Yeah.
just do it. Like just do it.
And then also the other thing that again to the Patreon thing, if you enjoyed the things that we've done in the past too, we have
Mhm.
some stuff as pertains to that
Yeah,
as
lots of
well.
fun stuff coming.
So
Might even
it
do a
might be
live podcast with you guys. Bring you in,
what?
and bring you on, and
What?
answer your own questions. Maybe we'll bring people
Or
on here
we
and
can
there and
pull
talk
from the
live.
interview deck, pod decks.
Ooh, we should do maybe we'll do a contest and we'll bring on a winner and they can interview us with whatever questions they want and we'll interview them strictly from the deck.
Yes, I love it. I love it. All right. There you have it, folks. Ideas, things happening.
This is what we do.
Things in
You're a
motion.
part of this. You're all a
Yeah.
part of this.
That's right.
You are the lettuce.
The lettuce
We are the cheese
and the mayo.
and the mayo.
I said that awful. And the mayo. You want to be my mayonnaise?
It's like a saucy garlic knot.
Oh God, that's gonna come out sooner or later.
Someday it
Yeah.
will.
Well, you know what we didn't address here
What's that?
is the other part of this question, which is
Oh, the nightly routine.
yeah, we
Oh,
can use the
okay.
last half of the show for the nightly routine.
All right.
'Cause
Well,
'cause
you
I
go
do
first on
know.
this one.
Okay. So nightly routine. Argue with my daughter to finish the rest of her dinner because she only eats some of it. And usually, so this is odd. My daughter loves her vegetables. She'll eat all of her vegetables. She will not eat any protein. Not a single thing. She will eat a lump of Brussels sprouts before she eats a hamburger
What?
or half a hamburger.
Kids.
Legit. Legit.
Wow.
Now my son's the complete opposite side of the coin. He's
Oh
like,
yeah. That
give me, you've seen him eat
amazing.
uh ribs. Was it ribs that
Ribs,
yeah.
chicken wings, dude,
Yeah.
clean the bones.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. There's nothing. The cartilage is gone.
Yeah.
And that's gross. I told him
Yeah.
that's super gross, kid. But he's like, I was hungry. I said, okay,
There was
whatever.
another wing.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so usually I'll argue with her, then we'll eventually threaten her with no dessert.
okay.
And that usually gets her going a little bit.
What's a typical dessert?
It's usually something small.
Mhm.
It's a taste. That's kind of what we do in our house. We don't overindulge with the dessert stuff. We tend to do, okay, you can have a fun size candy bar or a cookie or
Okay.
or depending on how the size of the cookie. Because listen, I'm not going to give you a single Oreo. That's just messed up. That's bad
It's just
fathering.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that's mean.
You're not a monster.
That's yeah, exactly. So yeah, we give them a little bit of stuff, um, and then we'll have them brush their teeth, and then Jen and I will often split the children. So I'll either lay with my daughter or with my son, and vice versa. And yeah, at that point, we got to hope that our kids don't go, mommy or daddy. Can you not look at your phone and just cuddle me? Because by that point, we're both so dead ass tired that if we're not looking at our phones,
Right.
we will fall asleep. So on those nights, that's the end of the nightly routine
Okay.
because I'm out.
Right.
I'm
That's it.
done.
Yeah.
There's no teeth brushing, there's no face washing. That's it.
Mhm.
But the nights that they do let us look at our phones, we do continue. So Jen and I, we always find it to be very important to, you know, to unwind and spend some time and my kids go to bed early. Everybody makes fun of me and or it's just like, well, really? My kids go to bed by like 7:30,
Well,
seven thirty,
they're
seven
young.
forty-five. Yeah, but you know what? Like my uh my niece, she's 2. She goes to bed at like 9. And I go, "But what do you have? Like
Right.
what do you have for yourself, Like once they're more self-sufficient, like Gavin a lot of times he'll actually like to wind down with a little bit of Bob Ross.
Oh,
That's a lot of fun. He and
nice.
I like to
That's cool.
so sometimes I'll let him stay a little bit later and watch some Bob Ross. Um but yeah, people don't let their kids go to bed early and it's funny too because everybody says, well, if you put your kids to bed later, then maybe they wouldn't wake up so early. And it's partially my issue because I have to wake up for work super early, right?
Right, right.
So I'm just kind of conditioned to that. I think they're probably conditioned to that. But the problem is if we let them go to bed at 9 or 10, they wake up at 5:30 still, and then they're assholes the rest of the day.
Right, because 'cause they're super tired.
Exactly. Exactly. So, you know what? Keep it at this. And then if you wake up at 5:30 and you're not an asshole,
And we can
things are
talk.
good.
Right,
Things are
right.
good. Things are better. So yeah, that's kind of how that goes. So Jen and I we get to spend a little bit of time together, and that's super important to us every night. Obviously some nights I got rehearsal or we're writing, doing podcast thing or whatever. But on other nights, we what we try to do is when we're not too tired is actually play a game.
Nice.
Uh, one of our big games that we like to play is Phase 10.
Okay.
It's a
I'm not
fun
familiar.
card game. It's a fun card game. It's by the makers of Uno. Um, and it's they just make up these different sequences that you have to do. So it's um like a pair and three of a kind, or um like 7 cards of the same color, and it's pretty cool. I highly recommend it. It
I'll
keeps
check it
your
out.
shit going because so yeah, we tend to do that, or something that has basically been eliminated from my everyday life is like the anticipation of certain shows coming out. I don't like to wait for them anymore. So what we'll often do is just wait until a series has 6 or 7
Yep.
seasons and then go, all right, we're committed.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what we do is right now we're in the middle of watching Dexter again because they announced a little while ago that they're doing a reunion series, I don't know, or a comeback series, whatever it is.
Hmm.
Um
I heard about that
so
too.
yeah, so we're rewatching that. And
Solid choice.
yeah, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, you need to watch Game of Thrones or this one or that one," and we'll get to it eventually. Um, I think the only show right now, currently, that we're watching on a weekly basis is Ghost Adventures.
Oh, with Zach Bagans.
Douche Bagans, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. No, but it's great. And you know what? He's a smart dude. He's a really smart
Absolutely,
dude.
man. He knows his market and he's cornered it and he's like he's got a couple of those shows out. I used to watch Ghost Adventures, because I love that stuff.
Ah,
I'm a
yeah, the
I'm a fan of
paranormal
like
stuff.
the paranormal and I'm not allowed to watch that stuff when Annie and I lay down to go to sleep. That's the only time.
Oh, see,
She's like, if we're going to sleep, I don't want to see aliens. I don't because I'll deep dive into stuff and I'll find like documentaries and things and I'll be like, wow, did you know that Eisenhower disappeared for a week? And reportedly it was because someone in the, was showing him proof of aliens, what do you think about that? And she's like, shut up. Like, I don't,
no, I like Ghost Adventures, man. It's a lot of fun,
yeah, it's
and
a fun show.
yeah, and it's I mean, of all of them, because we watched a few, and sometimes the drama is obviously the drama has to be there.
Right.
Otherwise, what's the point of watching the show? But they do a great job with it. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I'm a
I
fan of
enjoy
how
it.
they do the show.
Um,
And they're also
and
like younger, like cooler people,
yeah, yeah.
you know? It's like I think there's something to that. Maybe it's just ingrained in our head to just be judgy about that. It's like, "Ah,
Man.
man, I got to watch this like hillbilly look for Bigfoot
Or gold.
or like or I can watch like, this dude that like might like my band if I send it to him
Right.
is talking to me
And
about."
and so what I said about him about the douche bagans thing.
Now,
So,
nothing against hillbillies looking for Bigfoot. I'm from Indiana. I'm from the Midwest.
well,
I know my share of hillbillies and hillbilly lore. So, nothing
um
against that. Just watching on TV, man. I don't know.
in
When
in in the beginning of the Ghost Adventures, um he absolutely looked like Mike D. Mike D was in my old band in
Yeah.
FFR. He was the bass player. Uh Super awesome dude.
Yes.
Totally.
Also sang for Avenged Sevenfold briefly.
Yes, yeah. He also sang for Avenged Sevenfold. Um, but yeah,
Same
man,
guy.
he was new metal as fuck, and it was hard to get past that. Well, so Jen and I started watching that I probably in 2019, and we did that whole binge watch all the way through. And I think we binged watched what I think they're up to season like 24, something
Something like
stupid.
that now, yeah.
It's something stupid, and so we only watched live maybe 2 seasons.
Right.
This is going to be our third. Um, but yeah, those early episodes was like, dude, just go join Papa Roach. It's fine.
Right. Well, that and his acting is terrible.
His acting
If
was
you're a
atrocious.
demon from hell, then why don't you come out and you come and get us and come out?
And yeah,
And I'm like, you don't. Yes, you're not. That's not real.
he's gotten a lot better with that. That was
He has
probably
gotten
the
a lot better with
hardest
that.
hurdle to get
I'll
over
say
that.
that.
But yeah, then
You know what?
one of
It's a lot like if you ever watched the show Supernatural, right? Um,
yeah,
the very first season of Supernatural, like I had so many friends tell me I should check it out because I like that kind of stuff. And it was when it was on Netflix. I had already like it was on Netflix by the time I even first started watching it. And they're like, "You got to watch this show. You got to watch this show." It's like, "All right, I'll check it out." Like the first 3 episodes, I was like, "This is awful." Like I was like, they can't. The acting in this show is so terrible that it's like watching my friends put on a fake show. Like,
yeah.
and people kept telling me like, stick with it. It'll get better. It gets
It
better.
eventually got better.
And it really got better. Like I love that show. Like I was bummed that they had to stop. One, I'm bummed that they canceled that they're ending. And
Yeah,
two, I'm also bummed that like they had to stop filming when they were in the middle of the end last season.
yeah,
I'm like, oh man,
yeah. I think
like I love that show, man. I love it. I
Jen and
got
I
Annie
got
into
to
it. She
about
loves it. She's got like the Winchester's T-shirt and
nice. Yeah, actually, Jen and I think we got up to man. I want to say the 4th season.
right,
Sometimes it just happens to pit her out. I think the problem with her was again because our children have us up at the ass crack of dawn,
right.
and you watch a show like that at night with the lights down, and you fall asleep.
Yes.
She doesn't get so Stranger Things, things that are shot dark. She doesn't last.
No.
She just
Okay.
doesn't last. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if it's shot dark, there's a good chance that if Jen and I have to watch it at night, not going to last more than a season
Gotcha.
or so.
Annie, surprisingly, you wouldn't think so talking to her, but like I feel like there has to be some kind of uh, an emotional hook. It can't just be analytical, you know.
Okay.
Like she loves the superhero shows, right?
Mm.
And so she got really into Arrow, but she got really into Arrow when it became like Oliver and Felicity. And Annie's not like a romance person, right?
Yeah.
But we went to watch like Daredevil, which if you just write down the things about that show, everything in there checks every box of something that like Annie would love as a show. She loves Batman. Daredevil is very like that kind of a character.
Right.
Um just
Grounded.
yeah, grounded, the city, the martial arts, it's interesting. It was so well done. Kingpin was such a great villain.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there just wasn't that she didn't get the emotional hook. It didn't happen, so she just petered out of it. It didn't happen early enough, and I'm like, "You gotta wait longer. It's gonna be so good."
Yeah.
And just
Well,
couldn't do it.
the first season of Daredevil took a little while to get into.
Yeah.
I found I found, because okay, when you go into watching a show, you got to kind of know, okay, I need to wait like 3 or 4 episodes before I truly write this off.
Before I decide, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of groundwork to lay, especially with superhero stuff. There's a lot of groundwork to lay.
Yeah, yeah.
I found with Daredevil, it was more like 8. It was a lot.
Yeah,
It
I
was a
think they ran
long
into that
time.
problem where, like, they signed for a specific amount of episodes, and then they
Right.
had to fill those episodes. So it was like, well, our story that we wrote that's fantastic is a 12 episode season, and they're like, "Cool, we need 16."
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
that was definitely, it definitely fell victim to that.
Yeah.
Season 2 just didn't stop.
Yeah.
That was great. That
Yeah.
was great. Um,
Yeah.
but
Fantastic.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, so we watch a show, and then I brush my teeth. I get my mouthpiece that helps me not um snore as loud
Mhm.
or grind my teeth. I put that in my
Okay.
mouth. Unfortunately, that does not help with my drooling because they tend to be a little bit bigger, and it kind of keeps my
Yeah,
mouth open a little
that
bit.
makes the drool worse.
Yeah, so I usually wake up in a bath, which is fine because I got to take a shower
Yeah.
anyway. And yeah, then I go to bed, and I try to go to bed between like 10 and 11 p.m. on a weekday.
Alright.
Um, Fridays are different because
Yeah.
Fridays are
Yes.
bacon nights, and sometimes it ends at 3.
Bake nights can
Um,
go long.
yeah, they do go long sometimes. And what's fun though is how delirious we get at a certain point where we just go,
Oh, yeah, we start to lose it.
huh? It's just everything is huh? But that's when good work happens though.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
Sometimes.
the work is pretty solid.
The creative process opens up when your
Trust the
brain starts to
process.
shut down.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I've
But
found that.
the way it sounds is that you have a much better nightly routine considering most of your day happens at night.
Right. I don't know if it's a better one, but it's definitely a different one.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like there's, 2 nights during the week, I have, Craving Strange rehearsals, right? So on those nights, I go to work and I work until, 7 o'clock on Mondays, and Craving Strange rehearsal starts at 7:30, and I work 45 minutes away from the studio. So, I
That's a
go to
long
work
that's a
and
long
I
island 45 minutes.
yeah. So I'll grab some kind of food, either like a couple slices of pizza or like a slider or something like that, because those are the places that are next to the school. And I will eat those things in the car on the way to my rehearsal.
Pizza before singing.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it's perfect.
It's solid.
It's totally
Solid
solid.
move.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Never on a show night, but rehearsal nights,
Eh,
man, it's just get
it's
something
there.
in my stomach. Because I also, I usually don't eat breakfast. If I do, it's like a bagel or like, a bowl of cereal or something like
Yeah.
that, and then I'll have my coffee on the way to work, and then I don't eat lunch, and I don't do anything. It's just that's all I've had. So then by 7 o'clock, I'm ready to, like, eat my own hand.
Yeah.
Um so whatever has the shortest line, that's what I'm eating, because I need to get in the car, I need to get to the studio. So I eat that on the way to the studio. While I'm driving, I'll listen to a podcast or, usually not music lately because I've been teaching it all day. So
Yeah.
I'm musiced out and I'm about to go play music. So I try and shut my brain off from that. So it's, a wrestling podcast or some kind of comedy special or something like that, on the way to the studio. Get to the studio, we'll rehearse until around 10:30 ish. Um, and then usually I'll spend a little bit of time at the studio just kind of going over whether it be sounds on my gear, or I'll, if we recorded something that we were writing, I'll try and do a quick like mix down and get it to everybody in an email. So I'm leaving the studio usually by like almost 11, get home around 11. On Mondays, that means that's when I get home and Annie and I get to hang out a little bit. She is going to bed probably by 12. So I usually at that point will put on like Monday Night Raw or something, because I know I'm going to be up for the next 3 hours anyway. So I'll watch that while while setting up emails to go out the next morning, or starting a Photoshop thing, or design like a t-shirt, or something that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And around 2:30, 3 o'clock, I will
Jesus Christ.
I
So light.
will I'll take Bruce outside, um, play with him a little while. I'll brush, um, and then I will put in my uh, little apparati that I sleep with, my little mouth guard, so that I don't chew my
Yeah.
cheeks and grind my teeth away. Um,
Yeah.
and I will go lay down. I will turn on the massage function of my bed, which is fantastic.
That's great.
Uh, and I will, while I'm in the room, I'll throw on something on Netflix, usually something that I can easily fall asleep to, like The Chef Show or something like that. Uh, or even like there's a Oliver Stone's Untold History of the United States. I like that. I'll put something like that on, and I'll usually kind of like stay up for another half hour or so watching that before I fall asleep around 3:30, maybe 4. And that's on the nights that I have rehearsal. Tuesday nights, I don't have rehearsal. I don't have anything. It's like an off night. So I actually get off of work at 7:30, and I will come home, and I'll get home like, well, I'll get off for like 7:15. I'll get home by 8. And then usually Annie and I'll cook then. And so I'll cook, and and we'll figure out what we want to eat, and I'll cook something for us so that we can actually like have dinner together. And those are the nights where like we'll watch a movie, or we'll watch TV, or sometimes we'll play a game. We've been doing like Lego Star Wars games on the
Okay. The video
PlayStation,
games.
and we also bought Avengers Monopoly, and we've done that a couple of times, which is a
Ooh.
good long game. Um, so that's like a time where we can actually hang out,
Yeah.
uh, probably go to bed around 12 or 1. It'll be the same kind of thing. Usually she'll go to bed first, and then I'll stay up and, do whatever I got to do, emails, art, et cetera, et cetera. I usually go to bed a little bit earlier on Tuesdays though, because I'm not coming home from something that's gotten me hyped up,
Yeah, you're already amped.
so I'm pretty relaxed at that point anyway. So I'll usually go to bed around like 1:30. I'll go in there, and then I'll put something on and probably fall asleep around 2:30.
Yeah.
Um, Wednesdays I'm at the bar. Uh, when the bar's at full strength, I'm working until 8, going to the bar from work, and immediately walking in and walking behind the bar. And when we were able to be open, I'd be there till 2, and then close up shop and drive home and try and wind down. Nowadays, that the bars are closing a lot earlier. I actually get out around 12, after working for a few hours. I'll try my best not to grab any kind of Taco Bell or anything like that on the way home. I'll have to deliberately avoid it, because if I see it, I'll probably do it, because I'm again starving at that point. Um, Especially if I didn't get a chance to eat at work.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got pretty good food there, dude.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
something I gotta just shout out to KJ's.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh, Philly cheesesteak egg rolls
Mm,
are the
so
bomb.
good.
And what's
So
awesome
good.
about it is the little extra that isn't normally on a Philly cheesesteak
The
is
gravy.
the gravy dipping sauce.
Yeah,
What-
dude.
Come on.
Right?
So good.
Dude,
It's so good.
gravy's just good.
Something that I do suggest, though, when it first comes out, when Jim first serves it to you, give it a minute.
Mm. Yeah, it's lava.
It will.
Not just the gravy, the inside of that cheesesteak roll
Oh yeah, it
will
will.
burn you all the way to the outside of your face from the
Right.
inside of your mouth.
Yeah. So the inside of your mouth will literally just shed for
Yes.
the next 4 days.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
know it's happened to me.
Me too,
So
several times.
yeah, but you get so excited because it's Philly cheesesteak rolls.
Yeah.
Ah,
So, yeah, that's my Wednesday, and, Thursdays, I get up a little bit later because I have private lessons on Thursdays, so my private lessons don't start until, like, 3 o'clock. So I get my normal morning routine of doing all that stuff. I come to the studio, and I teach out of the studio, so I'm do my private lessons, until 7:15. Rehearsal starts at 7:30. So my eating schedule is the same, and then I rehearse until 10:30, get home at 11 or so, and typical night, if I'm wound up, I'll play a video game or something like that, go to bed around 2:30. Fridays are bacon nights. I
okay.
have private lessons during the day that start at 11 AM, and so from 11 AM until about 4:30, I'm teaching. I'll go home, make myself some food, um, have dinner with Annie if she's at home. We'll have dinner, we'll hang out for a little bit, I'll get my stuff, and I'll head to your place, and we'll have a bacon night. And then now that we don't have shows and stuff, Saturdays are another night off for me. I have
Yeah.
rehearsal at noon until about 4, and then after that, it's just a free night. So Annie and I will, we'll play games, we'll cook, we'll make stuff, we'll hang out. Well, that's another night that like we get to do stuff. And then Sunday nights, I'm in a band called Crash Transit, and we've been recording a record. So uh, Sunday nights, I don't have any lessons during the day, but I'm going and recording Crash Transit at night until about 10:30 or 11, and then I'm coming home, and it's about the same.
Something that we got to bring up here is Crash Transit because I don't think we have yet in
Yeah,
this
maybe
podcast
not.
because it's always Jimmy from Craving Strange and
Right.
Mike from Something Heavy. Um, Crash Transit is awesome, a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Phil
Super
Richards,
fun.
I've known him, man, since I started really actually gigging as a like a trying to be working musician. Uh,
Right.
I've known Phil, and I've always looked up to Phil because when I first started truly playing like the real bars around here, the real venues around here, Phil was like a staple. He was a so there was a place called the Downtown here, and that was where the smaller nationals came. So the guys coming up and the guys going down would all go through the Downtown, and I used to see Phil every Monday, and there was the open mic at the Downtown that was pretty big at some point, and the host Rick Eberly he would open up the show. He would always do a song, and then Status Joe would always play. And the first time I went there, Status Joe played, and we were on, this open mic. He played 2 songs, and so we were fucking. I think we were fourth, so we had to play 2 bands after him, and I thought to myself, I was like, why? Why now?
Yes, I think Phil's amazing. Status Joe is
Phil's
a fantastic band. Um, Phil is like when he told me he needed a guitar player, I was like, yes. He was like, what? I was just telling him I need a guitar player, and I was like, yes, I'll do it. He's like, I wasn't asking you to do it. And I was like, no, I know you weren't. And I know you weren't gonna, but I'm just telling you that I'll do it.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're what? Why would you do it? You're a singer in Craving Strange. So I was like, it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
cool with that. Let's do it.
Phil
But
Phil is
I
he's
don't
got a
mean
tremendous
to
voice.
cut off the conversation about Phil. I think that we need to make this into the next podcast because we've been going for a little over an hour at this point,
Okay.
and I think we should probably put a pin in it here, um, before we go too off track, and save the rest of the story for the next podcast.
Okay. Maybe, just throwing this out there,
Uh-huh.
maybe we should get Phil on here.
Maybe we should get Phil on here.
He doesn't live too far from the studio.
He does not. He does not. He'd enjoy it. He'd have a good time with it. We'd
Let's
have a
do
good
it.
time with him. He's a trip.
Yeah. I've got white wine.
He
I know
loves
what a
his
man drinks.
Yeah, man. He loves his Pinot.
Pinot
Pinot
Grigio?
Grigio. Yep.
Okay. All right.
That's his drink.
I got it.
But yeah, before we get off on that tangent, as we do, I just wanted to let all you guys know that you've heard the most focused episode yet of
Yeah.
Bacon is My Podcast.
Thank you, Poddex.
And we may continue this.
I had to pay.
Yeah, thank you, Poddex. We may continue this
Yeah.
conversation here now, and you might hear it later or get on it later somehow. But that was fun. That's been a good one. I like it.
Yeah. Thanks, Poddex.
Yeah,
You're not a sponsor, but we'll shout you out, and hopefully you will
absolutely. We'll
become a
shout.
sponsor to the show because these prove to be quite useful. Book review, my latest read.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll do this. We'll keep doing this every once in a while. It's
We'll
funny
continue
because you put the two of us in a room and we just talk for however long.
Yeah,
But,
you don't have to give us a topic, but
this is fun because it's
if
nice
you do,
and
we'll stay on
focused.
it.
Right.
For the most part, sort of.
Yeah, more or less. All right. Well, again, if you want to support the show, please make sure you hit the notification thing on the YouTube thing. Is that over here?
I'm not sure where it is.
You point because you're the YouTube expert.
Let's see. I think it's on this side.
Okay. Okay.
Might
So
be on this
hit the
side.
bell. It might be there. It might be there. Hit the bell. Make sure you like it.
Yep.
Thumbs up is easy. I'm going to take that one.
Subscribe.
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 It's a big word,
Mm.
but it's worth the click.
Translates to happiness.
Exactly. Exactly. If you're listening to us on the Spotify, what do they have? They have the
Share us. Share us with your friends. Add us to your follow us and share us with your friends.
Yeah. And then Apple Podcasts, 5-star reviews. 5 stars. 5 stars.
1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth.
We may not always deserve it, but we're willing to work for it.
We're aiming high.
That's what we do.
That's
That's
we're
what
not
we try to
sports
do.
guys. We're not sports guys, but we will make a goal with that basketball puck.
Yeah. If you have suggestions, I definitely think you should get in contact with us.
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Facebook or Instagram.
Comment. You can comment with us. Put yourself in the comments. Let us know what you think.
Always
DM
at
us.
Bacon
Facebook.
is my passion.
Yep, Bacon is my passion on both Instagram and Facebook. You can DM us there, and let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
And
let us know what you
us.
enjoy. Let us know what you don't enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoy the metal band that's playing next to me right now. I don't know if you can hear that.
I can sort of hear things.
I vaguely hear it.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't miss that.
I used to live in this studio, and I used to hear that right about now, every night.
Yeah. I'm actually super happy that my rehearsal studio is at my house.
Yeah. That's a pretty sweet deal.
It's an awesome drive home. Oh, wait. I just have to make sure everybody closes the gate properly. That's all.
Absolutely. That's you got a bent pole there, man. You got a bent pole. It's tough to get that in sometimes.
It was bent on purpose for a little while, and then it stopped being on purpose when somebody fucked it up more. We do digress. Anyway,
Thank you, guys.
there we go.
Yeah.
He is Jimmy from Craving Strange, and I am Mike from Something Heavy. Actually, there we go. He is Jimmy from Crash Transit.
Yeah.
And I am Mike from Me, My Own Self. See, we could switch it up.
And we are both
together.
Bacon is my passion.
Always
Bacon is my passion. So what's your bacon and what's your passion? Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
I'm going to do the Bob Ross wave. No, it's too high. Got to go lower. There you go. See you later, guys.
Later.